Hey friends, it's the 29th of July, Sunday. It's been quite the weekend. I want to try to share with you because it involves a lot of music. I want to first also say that I have been receiving some of the kindest messages from people and emails. Thank you folks who still just out of, because you want to, you're continuing to contribute financially to to my channel. Thank you, because I haven't been asking for it, but people are still sending money and really kind messages. Thank you so much. Yes, I am speaking honestly for myself, but I do know that I am speaking for a lot of people, and I am reflecting a point of view that needs to be heard, which is what has happened to this country and to the people, that we have sunken so low and become so fragmented, and yet you look around you and everyone acts like nothing's wrong. Something's very, very not right about how things are going in the world these days. So I speak about it, okay? I got a bunch of music from people this weekend, and I'll be getting to it slowly. The first thing I wanted to share with you musically is I participated in that George Lewis ensemble piece at the Omaha Under the Radar Festival. This is a experimental avant-garde music festival put together by PhD opera singer Amanda DeBoer Bartlett. She's also with the group Ensemble Del Niente. I don't have the CD to show you, but they recently made a CD with Deerhoof. It's amazing. This was the 5th year. I've participated in 4 of the 5 years now. I was in the first 2, and Amanda got a hold of me and made sure that I was part of this year's. I really appreciate that respect from Amanda. And the thing that I did was I participated in they have events and artists from around the world involved in avant-garde art do performances throughout the city, not just one place, but for 3 days throughout the entire city. And they always do at least 2 large pieces, in other words, 2 big things and at least 1 world premiere. The large piece was one by George Lewis, the jazz trombonist, composer. Some of you might know him because he's on this album by Material Memory Serves, Bill Laswell's group. George Lewis plays, is it trombone on here? Yeah, trombone. He's on here. Great album, by the way. But the performance and the experience was, for me, I'm still resonating on it. And this is part of why I like to do music and art, because it's so enriching, and it makes, when you do certain things, it's like, wow, the experience resonates for a long time because you learn so much and you experience so much, and you encounter other really stimulating people. For example, the other people that I met this weekend, who many of them I knew nothing about, but when I look into their background, it's like, well, I'm glad I found out about you. The world, the art world and the music world cross, but they're not. There are different camps, especially when it comes to popular music. So in the art world, which I love, and I love the music that comes out of the art world, it's a whole nother beast. It is. And okay, what am I trying to say? Okay, so what I'm trying to say is some of the people involved in the George Lewis ensemble that I was a part of, as I got to talking to them, they blew my mind. Okay, some of the stuff they do. I'll start with I did the performance. 2 of the people in the performance group along with me were these these well-known, well, not well-known, but these well-experienced musician composers who also have their own band called Tangrisnir. I think I'm saying that right. We traded Tangrisnir. But the two people involved in this band are Christopher Burns and Trevor Saint. And they both have huge CVs of work involving the arts and avant-garde. Christopher Burns manipulates guitar. He doesn't know how to play guitar. We talked about that. He's not a trained guitarist, but he is internationally renowned in the art world for his compositions and exhibitions. His partner on glockenspiel, Trevor Saint, blew my mind as well. Both amazing musicians. Their performance, we performed together, and that was amazing. But I went to their performance as well. They performed separately as the last event of the festival last night at Reverb Lounge as Tangrisnir. And I traded these two CDs with them. This is another one where it's hand spray painted and sewn together. And this is by another one of their projects, a few years older, Skofst. It's look, if you have difficulty understanding my words, just look below the video when it's done. I'll leave links. There's video that you can see of the performance that they did here in Omaha, which is amazing. But I got talking and hanging out with these guys because, of course, that's the wonderful thing, is to meet these other amazing artists and to be treated like a peer and to realize that I truly am a peer, even though I don't have this big, heavy scholastic background like a lot of these musicians do. They've been at this university and that university and this fellowship here and that there, and I've only done just a little bit of that. So to be held in the same, it just means a lot to me, you know, to be working with and accepted by these people. Trevor, from this band who plays glockenspiel from Tangrisnir, is also in the Alvin Lucier ensemble and is Alvin Lucier's personal assistant. Do you know who Alvin Lucier is? Some of you ought to know. This is the one thing I have by Alvin Lucier on vinyl. Still in Moving Lines of Silence and Families of Hyperbolas, Part 2. Lucier is in his 80s now, but Alvin Lucier, along with people like John Cage and Stephen Reich and Terry Riley and Luciano Berio, has truly pioneered moving forward of sound exploration and expression. Look up Alvin Lucier. Alvin Lucier. Look him up and see what he's done. To have met and now worked with Alvin's personal assistant, Trevor Saint, who just came back from a couple of years traveling the world with Alvin Lucier. They were just in Asia. Just mind-blowing to me. Fantastic. The music that they make is classified as non-music. And it is music and non-music because it's expression, it's improvisation. And the thing about improvisation is, and I'll admit it, I love improvisation, but I don't always like the results. But that's not the purpose of improvisation, is for you to like everything. The whole purpose of improvisation is to do and to act, react, and to create. So I just have to just say that there's improvisation that resonates with me, and I've heard things where what's happening never graduates beyond chaotic noise. Sometimes chaotic noise is okay, but mostly what I enjoy is finding the stream of consciousness within the so-called chaos, or finding the elements that are working together or crossing paths in interesting ways in improvisation. And the people I worked with this weekend really know how to do that. that really happens here on this Tangrishnir. I listened to this last night and got lost in it. That's what I like about it. I was up late last night after the show. To an untrained listener who, or just to some people, you put this on and the first thing they hear is noise and nothing but noise. For me, I hear that and I hear the organicity. I hear the life flow in good improvisation. I gotta say that because I do have some records where it's just, to me, what they did, either it didn't connect with me when I listened to it, or it just doesn't work. Excuse me. So I got to work with those guys and meet them, and now can count them as new peers. And I will, like I said, I'll leave as many links as possible for you folks to find out about these other artists. The other people that I worked with, this was the second time I got to work with Paul Pinto. But two other amazing artists that I got to work with this weekend at Under the Radar are Paul Pinto and Jeffrey Young. Paul Pinto, they're both from the East Coast. Jeffrey Young is a violinist. Paul Pinto is a composer, percussionist, pianist, movement specialist. They both strike me as educators. I think they probably both teach. So their performance, Paul Pinto and Jeff Young, along with Tans Grisnir, was the final performance. And their thing, I bought the vinyl. We traded. They gave me a CD, but I was so blown away by their performance, I had to get the vinyl. And this was $25. But I had to get it. Minis Trajectories by Thingy, New York. Thingy, not having enough teeth to say things properly sometimes is a bitch. Okay. Thingy, New York. This is quite a beautiful package. Thingy, New York is what these guys were part of, Paul Pinto and Jeff Young. And these guys are all, I would call them young masters. These guys know what the hell they're doing. And this is a piece, this album contains minis and trajectories. Quite the package. These guys are so badass. It's on 180 gram black vinyl. I love the label. It's a pastiche of the Prestige label, my favorite version of the jazz label, Prestige. Isn't that tough? Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Now, I could actually play some of this, but that won't do it justice. You've got to immerse yourself in it. This is very verbal, very wordy. Okay, let me finish showing you the package while I talk about it. So besides the album, you get these full printed scores of each thing. These people are serious. So Aaron Rodgers' trajectories are on here. The full scores are here. Now, I don't read music hardly at all, but when I'm challenged to slow down and get back at it, I can read a bit. It's hard. Yeah, I feel dyslexic with reading music. Always have. It's just really frustrating. But there's printed scores for her stuff in these pieces, and then on these cards, these beautiful cards here, Paul Pinto's pieces, minis 0 through 7, are also the scores. And again, these guys know what they're doing. Look at the score. That is the musical score for the piece. I love graphic scores where the music and the way that it's laid out for you does involve a new and different way of thinking about music than just the usual notation. And these guys are artists, and they let you have it. They show what they're about. It's all in the art and about the art. This is very verbal, and what this is a lot of what's going on here, and what was happening in Paul Pinto and Jeff Young's performance last night is that they are doing this satire, send-up commentary on the two-party electoral system, the hypocrisy of it, the insanity of it, the madness of it. And it's brilliant because these guys, again, these guys are no dummies. And this is very verbal as well as musical. Their wordplay is more like theater than rap. There are parts of here where it becomes hip-hopish and rhyming and stuff, but mostly it's just a stream, and oh man, it's really stimulating and lots to absorb. I'll leave again links below because you can't see any name here, but this is Paul Pinto. It's actually under the title Thing New York, Minnie's Trajectories. I had to get this. I could babble on for a while, but there's more records that were sent to me I want to talk about soon, because if I don't, then I'll get behind. Thank you all so much. Thank you. I'm really, again, blown away at how many people overseas buy my records and CDs because they have to pay more for the postage than the actual product. But it's still, the orders keep coming in. And thank you so much. I'm almost out of yellow vinyl nice. I just got another order yesterday from overseas. Pretty soon I'll only have a handful of black vinyl nice albums. The other thing I'll say, because again, besides sharing this with you in a way as a service because I want to do it, a big part of me doing this is for my own benefit and for my own enjoyment while I'm alive, enjoying these experiences that I'm having. And I love making music, and as a kid I was fascinated with records, and so I always wanted to make records. Once I started making records, it's like, well, yeah, I'd like to make as many records as possible. So I'd just like to share that I recently, just out of curiosity, went on to the website Pop Psych. Do you guys know about Pop Psych? Besides Discogs, and there's a few others. But Pop Psych is a good site to go to find out about the collectability of records and what they're actually selling for. And, I was curious, so I popped in my name to see, how do my records do? Are they collectible at all? Son of a gun, they are. Look at my records on there. My albums that are sold out are averaging $50 to $60 being resold. I like that. That's cool. All right, I'll be back soon.